Not exactly the smoothest of starts for a PR event, with the trams getting caught in congestion. And then the Mayor of the West Midlands seemed to get locked out of the tram. Once on board, the event gave a glimpse into the future with a test run on the new route to Birmingham's east side. It's a line that will eventually be extended to the city's new sports quarter, housing Birmingham City Football Club's recently unveiled new stadium.
We're going to have 100,000 people needing to get in and out of that site, and so it's critical for anybody who's been to a stadium and they're really struggling to get in and out. We struggle at St Andrews at United Park now.
Momentum behind the latest extension is building fast, whereas in the past progress on new metro lines has been painfully slow. But the Mayor is confident about timelines.
We're going to put a project team in place to make sure that we drive this thing forward as quickly as possible, and that we align the opening of the stadium with the opening of the tram line.
This temporary stop at Millennium Point is as far as the trams will go for now. They can't get across the HS2 site at the moment, but they have laid the tracks in Digbeth High Street. At the moment, this tram line remains a tram line in two halves. Although there were hopes the line to Millennium Point would be carrying passengers by now, sadly that's not happened. Technical issues now mean it'll probably be the new year before it opens.
It's taken us a while, but we're nearly there now. We're nearly over the line with it all. So once this testing and commissioning is done, we'll be into driver training, and then we'll be open to passengers as soon as possible.
So what about the other new extension between Wednesbury and Dudley town centre? Transport Matters was given exclusive access to the construction work on the new route. And it's pretty impressive. So this is Wednesbury, where the new line splits off the old line from Wolverhampton to Birmingham. You can see much of the track work is in. This Delta junction is quite close to the Metro depot, which you can see in the background. The track's down in most places along the route, and when we film they have the tamping machine out to ensure that the track is correctly aligned. Not long now and the first test trams should be able to run. As with the east side extension, an autumn opening here has again drifted into 2026. Even though much of the route runs along a disused railway line, building it hasn't been without its challenges.
We started off by basically reconstructing several of the bridges along the route because they were very tired and worn out basically. Also we've reconstructed several retaining walls along the route, also new retaining walls where the tram stops are being constructed, because obviously the width of the tram stops is wider than the old corridor was.
The final touches are now being made to the 9 new tram stops along the route. And here's a tram stop that's nearing completion. This is the Sedgley Road tram stop. Here they've had to replace one of the old Victorian bridges to get the tram tracks across. That way is Dudley, and that way is Wednesbury. The Sedgley Road stop is sited on an embankment and close to a busy road. Here, space is at a premium, making construction challenging. This is Dudley Port tram stop currently being built. Behind me on the bridge is the West Coast Main Line, which means this will be a major interchange between heavy rail and light rail. Interestingly, here there'll be no overhead wires to supply the trams. They'll run on battery, and the reason is that this bridge and a couple of others further down are just too low to put any kind of overhead wires in. It makes the Metro one of the first places in the country to install what's now being termed as discontinuous electrification.
On this section there's a number of reasons. In Dudley it helps us keep overhead lines out of the town centre, out of the urban environment. And in this corridor, where we're dealing with cuttings and where we're dealing with historic low bridges, it means we don't have to go through the complexities of either changing bridges with all the impact that would have, or making changes that we don't want to that might affect safety to the wire height. So this is about efficiency and safety.
These metro stops, not seen anything like this before. They're quite tiny, and the reason for that is they're not for the public use. They're really for staff who are coming off their shifts to come off the trams and get back to the depot, which is very close by. And close to the depot, there's another interesting feature. This tunnel that goes underneath the Delta junction at Wednesbury allows for the provision of a further tram line north to Walsall.
It would be daft when we are delivering a project of this scale, that's designed to last for decades, if not longer, that we don't think about what might we want to put in place now to future-proof it for the future. So absolutely, the route from Wednesbury to Walsall, we've taken no decisions on how that would be served. There's no funding in place for that at the moment, but we wouldn't want to write that off as something that we couldn't do in future.
But for now, they're concentrating on getting the line to Dudley open, where tracks are down and it's looking fairly well advanced. Here, there'll also be a new interchange between buses and trams. Well, this is the current end of the line, the Flood Street tram stop just outside Dudley town centre. If you can see beyond there, there's a curve, and that's where it heads over to Maryhill. That's the next bit to be built. Work on what's now called Phase 2 has already started in some places. The big question now is, when will the Wednesbury to Dudley section of the Metro open?
We are as keen as anyone else to see this line open. As you know, we wanted to open already, but the challenges we've had to tackle mean we've not been able to. But as soon as we can get this line open, providing reliable and safe services to the West Midlands, we will.
It's now almost 40 years since a light rail metro line to Dudley was first talked about. A few more months and it'll become reality. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this update of the West Midlands Metro extensions. If so, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to tell all your friends about the channel.